Welcome everybody to today's stream. For today's stream, well, we're gonna be talking about Jeepney Modernization, but more than that, we're gonna be learning together. Kasi hindi rin naman ganun karami ang alam ko about it. So we'll go through a bunch of articles together. But before we get to that content, which will start at the 10-minute mark, if you're here to support the channel, please watch everything from now until we start the content. But if you're just here for the content, talon na lang kayo mamaya sa 10-minute mark kasi dun tayo magsisimula. Alright, so from now until then, I will be finishing our setup and hopefully I see you. Sup Caleb? Sup James? Share lang natin tong live stream na to more people. Nice seeing everybody. Nice seeing James and Caleb be the first people in the stream today. Kamusta kayo? Ito na naman tayo sa mic na umaangat. There, I think this should be good. Yeah, this should be good. Yep. I feel like this is a good good height away from the mic. Yep. We should be good. I keep saying we should be good. I wonder if we really are good. No, we're not good. Waiting for Discord to start. Parang problematic ang Discord natin. Sa dito, I want to be able to share it to our Discord channel, but it's not happening. Medyo gupit sundalo siya. Stinail ko lang para lang magmukhang hindi gupit sundalo. But if you look here, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Sa kabila rin. O, diba? Di lang halata. Welcome everybody. We'll start in about 7 minutes. Namamablema tayo sa Discord natin. Hindi siya nag-start ng maayos. Oh, I think it's updating. Yun. O, diba? Hindi lang halata from the front. Oh, thank you, James. Singer Sundalo. My gosh, dry yung lips ko. Let me just go get some water right beside me anyway. But we'll begin opening up some links. Sobrang daming links. Gonna try a new kind of stream today where it's more of a learn with me. So parang sabay natin aaralin ko ano yung topic today. It's not going to be the usual where we just jump from one link to another. It's more of you and I browsing the internet. Something like that. Alright, let me just open these up. Vaseline lip balm. Ayun na nga, I kinda don't want putting on lip balm. Which I think I should start considering. Teka, ito, mag-live na rin tayo on YouTube. On TikTok. Una ako nagtanong, Caleb eh. How are you? Miss you also, James. How's my weekend? My weekend was, I would say it was good. It was good until the last minute when it kind of got a little rocky. But 90% good, I would say. 10% eh. Oh! Ano ginawa mo sa Tagaytay? Macbeth? If you don't know what Ron is referring to, let me show you in just a bit. Mag-live lang tayo ngayon sa TikTok. We still do have some time to talk to each other before the stream starts. May 4 minutes pa. Live lang tayo Give me a minute. Yan, and we are now live on TikTok. The weird thing with TikTok right now is because we have a mic, it's now covering our face. Ayan. Nag-cover na ng mic natin yung face natin on TikTok. And there's no way around it, honestly. Kasi hindi rin natin malalagay sa harapan yung well, that's the best we can do actually. So if you're also live on TikTok, check it out. What's up, Tin? Hey, Chantal. Parang napansin ko nga, paring Ray. Saan yun? I saw your stories, paring Ray. Sinong mga artista yun? Or sinong artists yun? How are you, Chantal? Congratulations by the way to Chantal. Si Shantaru, lakas makahakot ng honors awards and subject awards. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you, James. Oh, Bini. Oh, saan sila nag-tour? Parang Ray, saan mo sila nakuha, na-catch? Oh, nice. Pansin ko nga, ang close up nun Were you able to get that close? Let me just charge our iPad. Congratulations, Shantaru. Hold on, let me get the... Kunin ko lang yung tubig natin and then simulan na natin yung stream in about 2 minutes. I'm also really hungry, by the way, so I can't wait to have our mukbang mamaya sa Kumu. Yung na na na. Na na na. Yun ba yun? Tama. Na na na. Mamaya ang food natin is poutsin. Are you familiar with that, Chantal? Oh no, iba pa yun. Ano yung Bini? I can't play that right now because we will get copyrights stricken for that. Wrong ka dyan, see? Ito nga pala. Ito nga pala yung nire-refer kanina ni Ron Skidoo na kumakain daw siya ngayon ng Macbeth. So ito yung Macbeth. In case you did not know. Sent this over to Discord a while ago. Saw this meme on the internet. Macbeth. I mean, why not, right? If only that were possible. If only talaga. If only. ABS-CBN. Oh yeah, for sure. Kapag pinost natin yan sa ABS-GG kapag nag-post tayo niyan, GG tayo. All our okay, it's a lesson now we all know about. Now, whenever we put up content or display content here in our stream that has anything to do with ABS-CBN, malaki yung chance na tinitake down siya. Chantal, yung Macbeth, tapos yung drink mo, gulaman. Makgulaman. Makgulaman. Bagay ba gulaman tsaka pakbet? Anyway, we should start with our stream already. It's already 10 minutes. It might be a stream that you may enjoy, pwedeng hindi, but today's stream is going to be something new. I want to try this out, see if it works, because it kind of does work when we do it on Kumu, but I'm not so sure how well it will be dito sa YouTube, because it's more of a learn with me kind of thing where we look at the topic, don't know a lot about it, and we research together. So tinanong kanina ni Ron, let me start off with this. Tinanong kanina ni Ron, ano raw yung pinakamurang pamasahe ng jeep na naabutan natin? Let me start by saying, hindi ko alam. Hindi ko alam because, how do I say this? I guess I'll just say it. Hindi ako lumaking sumasakay ng jeepney. Tricycle, oo. Pero jeepney, hindi. So in short, pagdating sa pagsakay ng jeepney, ignorante ako. Kaya sa palagay ko by default, I don't have sufficient input to make a good statement or opinion about the matter of jeepney modernization. I know maraming intricacies yan. Titingnan natin lahat yan. I was able to gather a lot of articles and content and opinions about it. But it doesn't mean, di ibig sabihin hindi ako lumaking sumasakay ng jeepney, we cannot learn more about what is going on. Because I think that by learning more about it in today's stream, others who may be like me might be able to learn more about it as well. And with sympathy, maaari tayong makiramay sa pinagdadaanan ng milyon-milyon na tao araw-araw, especially now that it's very crucial that we have to talk about this. And hopefully it doesn't end there. Kapag nagkakaroon ng call for actions, we are able to participate kasi mas marami na tayong alam about it. Kapag dating sa call for donations, we can get one step closer to hanging out, to helping out. Because after all, and like I mentioned earlier, well, we now know more about it. So, mas malapit na tayo sa issue na yon. Mas may alam na tayo regarding the jeepney phase-out / modernization issue that's been plaguing the Philippines since 2017 apparently. Diba? So, simulan natin to. Simulan natin to because there are conflicting opinions and it's mainly government versus people in this case, diba? Sabi ni Kerwin, need mo experience makasakay ng jeep sa tamang panahon. No more popping of white, blackheads, or pimples. I think you're referring to this, Boss K. Nawala na yan eh. Pero bumalik siya eh. Kasi kaya tiniris ko ulit. Anyway, ano ang ipapalit sa jeepney, Shantaru? Well, they're saying ang ipapalit are modernized jeepneys. But it's very problematic. Long story short, kasi masyadong mahal. And parang ang gusto mangyari, i-phase out overnight, walang transition or walang slow na movement from jeepneys to modernized jeepneys. Automatic sasabihin lang sa mga jeepney drivers, sa mga may-ari ng franchises, mga operators, okay, by this date, kailangan bago na yung mga jeepney nyo para makapag-renew ng franchise to operate or else bawal na. And problematic yun for many reasons. So, let's start with an introduction here. The Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program was launched by the DOTR in 2017 with the goal of making the country's public transportation system efficient and environmental friendly by 2020. So, well, it's 2023 already because in 2020, things got very delayed due to the pandemic. The program calls for the phasing out of jeepneys, buses, and other PUVs that are at least 15 years old and replacing them with safer, more comfortable, and more environmentally friendly alternatives over the next 2 years. Currently, there are 220k jeepney units operating throughout the country. So, replacement vehicles are required to have at least Euro 4. Ito yung sinasabi ko earlier na kailangan for modernized jeepneys. At least Euro 4 compliant engine or an electric engine to lessen pollution. This is problematic on its own, which we will learn more about later. Kasi ang sinasabi dito, major contributors sa air pollution ang jeepneys. Yes, that's true, pero may kulang sa statement na yun. Some proposed requirements include CCTV cameras, automated fare collection systems, speed limiters, and GPS monitors. The Land Bank of the Philippines estimates that each jeepney replacement will cost around, ito yung problem, 1.4 to 1.6 million. Can you imagine? I mean, dun pa lang may kita nyo na yung problema. 1.4 to 1.6 million pesos to replace one jeepney. Whether or not it's subsidized by the government, whether or not tutulong ang gobyerno para bayaran ito, which by the way, they're barely doing. How do you pay for something that is worth 1.4 million pesos a day kung ang kinikita mo as a jeepney driver nasa 500 to 600 lang? Medyo malabo, di ba? However, based on interest rates, so yes, tutulong daw ang gobyerno, magpapautang sila, 6% per annum, and the payment period of 7 years, lalabas, imbis na 1.4 to 1.6 million ng isang jeepney, lalabas 2.1. So generally, positive ang feedback. Some transport groups have criticized the program as it might lead to losses of jobs and businesses. So that's one intro. Here's another one. Analyzing the jeepney phase out and its pros and cons, diba? Traffic has always been a huge problem in the let me zoom this one in for you. Let's skip the intro. Yeah, nabasa na natin to. So we're basically just gonna jump to the pros and cons. So let's define modernization muna. Ang gusto raw nila pagdating sa modernization, it's roadworthy, safe, and reliable, prevents pollution, or has emissions within acceptable standards. If that is the case, and transportation modernization is certainly a necessity. So I think this is as far as the positive feedback goes. Wala namang nagsasabi na no, wag tayo mag-modernize ng jeepneys. Every single jeepney driver will say, yeah, dapat yung jeep na dinadrive natin, karapat-dapat na nasa daan, ligtas siya, and maasahan. It also prevents pollution, and kung ano man yung emission ng tambucho neto or ng makina neto, environmental friendly. I don't think any jeepney driver will say no to that. The problem really here is, before we even get to that later on, is how much each jeepney will cost, who will pay for it, and if it's gonna be loaned, magkano at gaano kalaki yung interest, which is very problematic, right? It has its pros and cons. Vehicle dealers, manufacturers, and financiers will rejoice at this new replacement because it translates to massive spurts in business. The jeepney phase-out, however, has both pros and cons, especially when we talk about one of the main stakeholders, the drivers. So, I think we've already mentioned it enough at this point. Paulit-ulit, the drivers will be the ones who will be taking most of the hit here. Let's just jump to the pros. Here, so pros of the transport modernization. Higher job demand for the transport sector. It makes sense. One of the biggest pros of jeepney modernization is that it can provide the country with more jobs. That is true. Can you imagine? Well, it will displace a lot of jeepney drivers. Really think about it. It will displace a lot of jeepney drivers. But some of the jeepney drivers, sinasabi nila na mas may alam pa about vehicles, can actually be hired as employees of the manufacturing or the production side of producing modern jeepneys. 'Di ba? May ganun na angle, which is a good thing, right? Again, all the pros are actually really good. it's the cons where we begin to weigh out kung itong bang lahat ng pros okay ba talaga. With newer vehicles needed, there's also a higher demand for workers and laborers in vehicle manufacturing. Let's see some of the comment first. Okay ang modernization, sabi ni Paolo, as in, pero sagutin ng gobyerno ang bulk ng gastos. Kaya naman yun eh. Kaya nang bumili at magpalipad ng Gulfstream jet ang Pangulo. Kung kakalimutan, Paolo. Magkano ang Dolomite Beach? baka imbis na yun yung for mental health, 'di ba? Baka naman kaya nila yung pang mental health na mga araw-araw na nagko-commute. So kung kaya ang Dolomite Beach, feeling ko kaya nilang i-subsidize kahit papaano yung jeepney, 'di ba? Buti pa yung bata sa kapuso mo, merong 2 million worth of K-pop merch. Mamaya sa Kumu pag-uusapan natin yun. For me, gusto ko yung modernization for jeepney kasi simula nagka-jeep minibus, doon na ako lagi sumasakay kasi comfortable for pasahero. Pero pag drivers may-ari ng jeep, masakit talaga sa bulsa. Ang question pa, ano pa gagawin sa 600,000 units ng aalisin na old jeep? Saan itatapon yun? Tambak for sure. O diba, may e-jeep. Okay, I can't say we all, pero e-jeep, good, right? But the problem at this point seems to outweigh lahat ng benefits. So let's talk about this more. More pros. Lessened carbon emissions. Older jeepney models emit a lot of carbon and have often been credited as the violators of the Clean Air Act. We all get this. Lessened carbon emissions, higher job demand. Yan ang pros, basically. Now, let's talk about the cons. High cost. Ito na Dito tayo. This is where the argument that justifies jeepney modernization all falls apart. It doesn't take one to understand that despite what modernization can bring, if millions more people will suffer as a domino effect, we have to second guess kung ano nga ba yung gina-justify natin, di ba? Sabi dito, modern jeepneys are expensive. A modern jeepney costs about 600 to 700K, while the government's preferred units cost about 1.6 to 1.8 million. The average jeepney driver earns 500 to 600 a day, but with rising costs of gasoline and other factors, it is safe to assume that they earn less. Drivers and transport laborers point out how much of budget these units are, even with government assistance. How out of budget. Many drivers express that they have no objections to PUV modernizations. Ito yung sinasabi natin earlier. Wala namang jeepney driver na magsasabi, hindi, pangit ang modernization. We don't want modern jeepneys. Let's stick to the old one. Walang magsasabi nun, especially with all its pros. However, cost is a big con that they cannot overlook. And then, possible lack of jeepneys. Ang dami palang cons. Way more than just the expense. When we talk about the jeepney phase-out's pros and cons, we also need to consider the possible impacts. One of the biggest impacts the jeepney phase-out can have is a severe lack of jeepneys in the country. As less and less jeepneys ride, commuters may find it difficult to catch a ride. The government should have an option that provides a more affordable way for drivers to acquire one. Okay, so this stems basically from the cost. If sobrang mahal ng jeepney, iilan lang jeepney drivers ang makakabili ng bagong jeepney. And dahil bawal na nga ang mga old jeepneys, that if i-phase out na siya strictly, dito ko sinasabi na yung millions and millions of people, anong meme yun? Anyway, Trump, it's a Trump meme, not the best meme. But anyway, ito yung sinasabi kong domino effect. Hindi lang jeepney drivers ang masistress dito or ang madadali dito. But if you really think about it, kung mas onte lang ang mga modern jeeps na papalit sa old jeeps, paano na lahat ng nagko-commute? Paano ma-accommodate ng napaka-onting e-jeep at modern jeepneys ang million-million na nagko-commute araw-araw? So that is something we tend to often overlook, which stems from the high cost. Diba? Minimal environmental impact. This one is what I mentioned earlier na sinasabi na ang jeepneys apparently sinasabi nila, 'di ba, mga jeepneys masama sa environment. Tingnan niyo naman kung gaano ka intense yung smoke belching, 'di ba? But look here. A study done by the VTT Technical Research Center of Finland shows almost a direct correlation of the effects of... Okay, I don't know what this is all about. In short, dito na lang tayo sa in short. We do not see how diesel is produced behind the scenes. Someone coming out now from the tailpipe emissions, but science now tells us that when a vehicle farts from behind, these can still be measured even if many toxic fumes like carbon monoxide are only... Okay, so basically ang sinasabi dito, tumatawag yung Grab. Give me a minute. Tumatawag yung Food Panda. Ito yung pagkain natin. Where were we? Okay. So, in short, ang sinasabi nito, if I'm not mistaken, is whether, as long as you drive a car, whether it's diesel, unleaded, premium, or any gasoline type vehicle, they all emit bad pollution. You know what? Let's skip that altogether because we're not making any sense right now. Pero ito yun. Minimal, let's just say, one of the cons is minimal environmental impact. This is way too technical for me to understand right now. Dahil ang bilis-bilis natin gumalaw. So let's just jump straight to the next one. Minimal traffic congestion difference. Jeepneys have always been looked at as a violator of the Clean Act and cause of congestions in roads. Unfortunately, what many fail to realize is that the number of private cars also contribute to pollution and traffic congestion. Simply proposing transport modernization is not a complete solution. The bill is aimed to ease traffic as a small treat, perhaps to commuters and motorists complaining about traffic, but it appears it's more a threat to small guys who only earn a few hundred pesos a day. So, apparently, it doesn't make complete sense sinasabi natin ma-decongest ang roads natin dahil doon because in reality to add to this, sabi ni Ishmael Sevilla, chairman of the NCR TODA coalition, he could not understand why franchises of tricycles and pedicabs will be revoked within 6 months when the traffic is on major roads like EDSA, where tricycles are banned anyway. So in short, it's the number of private vehicles. Tayo mostly yung may kasalanan. Mga naka-private vehicles na isa lang ang sakay parate. Tayo yung may kasalanan for congesting the roads. It's not so much jeepney drivers and jeepneys kung saan kaya naman magsakay ng higit sa 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 na tao sa isang kotse. So, yun yung sinasabi nito. Minimal traffic congestion difference. Some of the comments. 28 billion sa sweldo ng constitution change. Dapat spend yung 28 billion sa modern... Exactly, man. That's what I'm saying. Kaso may nagsabi, may nabasa ako kanina paano pa nila isa-subsidize yung jeepney modernization? Lahat napunta na sa confidential funds. Makikita dyan for sure kasi may transport group at ang Saraw Motors na may pinrepose na prototype pero di raw approve. Ang gusto ng government yung import. Oof. Yeah, man. Sana naman hindi ganun kasama, no? Na talagang pinapush ng government to because somebody's going to earn a big amount of money by modernizing all the jeepneys. How much yung budget sa con assembly na yan? Magkano pork barrel nila? Magkano Intel fund? Ito yung confidential funds. Magkano budget, 'di ba? Isang side lang sila ni na may maayos na plano na di sang-ayon sa abrupt phase out. That's what also I tried to mention earlier. Yung transition natin, 'di ba? Walang transition. Ang gusto nila, let's phase it out by this date. Kung may jeepney kayo, kung may modern jeepney kayo, okay, fine. You get to continue your jobs. If wala, sorry na lang. Which is not good at all. Sabi ni Boss K, Jeep doesn't cost... This is very basic sense, diba? That's why hindi magandang argument yung it will cost less traffic. Jeep doesn't cost traffic if they ferry minimum 15 passengers per way versus private vehicles na 1 or 2. They can modernize what government should subsidize or just give it away. Hindi nagsasabi na dapat nakaipon na to afford new jeepneys. Kung nakaipon yan, di sana hindi na sila jeepney drivers. Diba? Good point, sobra. Hindi totoo na mababawasan ng pollution dahil aalisin mo ang old jeepney. Mas marami ang pollution ng private vehicles. That's what I was trying to say. Hopefully, I got to get that message across. And then they will stop portion of PNR train. Kawawa mga masa na commuter. Yun yung sinasabi ko rin earlier na domino effect yan. And I think very, very out of touch yung government sa plight ng tao. Kasi sobrang lakas nila makademand pero hindi nila nare-realize gaano karami yung maapekto nito. Tigil pasada na pero mas traffic pa nga today. Proof na hindi jeeps ang major cause ng traffic. Alright, let's keep the comments coming in so that you could keep adding more insight and clarifications to what I'm saying. Thank you very much. I think this is, again, like I mentioned earlier, para sa mga katulad ko siguro na kulang ang knowledge pagdating sa jeepney. This stream will hopefully help you in having more sympathy at makatulong makiramay sa nangyayaring katotohanan ngayon and will allow us to take better action in however way we can. Ito na. Let's go now to the considerations people are offering. Alright? Considerations people want to offer in this entire jeepney modernization issue. Apart from let's do first this tweet apparently by itong tweet na to from Trisha Robredo. I support the transport strike. Yes to pro-people modernization. No to jeepney phase out. Chat, please help me out here. I've been trying to search kung ano ibig sabihin ng people modernization. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Ibig sabihin ba nito better driver education? Pagturo sa mga jeepney drivers ng mas maraming skills para ma-acquire sila during this transition period? Yun ba ibig sabihin ng pro-people modernization? Kasi parang hindi ko ganun ka naiintindihan yung part na to. Look at the comments here. Maybe we'll get the answer here. I don't think we got any answers here. Only more comments. Boundary system is so fucking bad of a system. This archaic system puts a gigantic onus of operating an economically sustainable business on the most vulnerable person in the operation, aka the driver. Parang wala tayong nabasa na maayos dun na wala. Ito, pro-people modernization simply means makatao na modernization. Okay. Very simplistic in that case. 25 reasons the jeepney must be redesigned and re-engineered for safety. This one I thought is very, very good. Ang dami nito. So let's just do a few. So dapat ma-redesign to. Now, we do have redesigns already. We have the e-Jeeps. It's in our thumbnail. But I think we should jump instead of this. Maybe you can pause this if you want to and then read it for yourself. Pero I think mas importante ito. Why is a jeepney driver usually cranky and ill-mannered? We attempt to explain why. Because I think this is one more thing that people are trying to bring up. Hindi naman necessarily jeepney ang nagkakos ng traffic. Minsan, jeepney driver mismo and the way they drive the jeepneys ang issue or ang pwede nating masilipin pa. So why are they cranky and ill-mannered? Really bad driving ergonomics. The proper driving position is never achieved in a jeepney. This is because the design is to maximize the number of passengers and not driver comfort. Reaching the controls usually requires contortionist skills when steering, shifting, or merely depressing the pedals. Back-braking driving position. Although there is no medical study on this topic, the 104 drivers interviewed say that they suffer from some form of back pain or muscle strain. 30% of drivers claimed the poor quality of their daily drive contributed to difficulty in sleeping or multiple body ache. Seatbelts are more dangerous. An understanding and analysis of the driver position relative to the steering wheel and pedals as well as the possible mounting points of both 2 and 3-point seatbelt makes installation and use in a jeepney more dangerous. The lack of crumple zones may transfer crash energy to the driver. That is true. And gets ko yung sinasabi nito. Ibig sabihin lang nito, ang pangit lang talaga ng ergonomics ng upuan nila. So much so that parang masama pa lagyan ng seatbelts. That's how bad it is. Front cabin occupants are in grave danger. A sudden impact can cause a driver and front passengers to be thrown out the front window, out of the side doors, or be crushed in an impact. The steel frame chassis and bolted on body transfers the energy of an impact into a forward motion at the moment of impact. So 96% of passengers riding top load were instantly killed. Wow. 96%. That's insane. 46% of road crashes happen when it is raining. 84% of passengers say jeepney drivers need to be more courteous and responsible. Why are they cranky? I think one thing that they didn't explain here is, well, they're just trying to earn money. And I think all the odds are against them. And the government doesn't seem to care kung anong nangyayari sa kanila. So maybe that's why they're cranky. More than the ergonomics, more than them sitting hours in a day, it's that the compensation simply isn't enough. But apart from that, this does break down the problems in today's jeepneys. Ano yung problema ng bawat parte ng jeepney? Comments. Yung driver i-upgrade din. Although they are cranky or not or ill-mannered because of lack of compensation, nahihirapan sila kumita, all the odds are against them. I don't think pa rin na excuse yun para magmaneho ng hindi ligtas, especially if you're compromising everybody's safety, everybody na nasa jeep, yung safety ng lahat ng tao na kasama mo. So sabi dito, yung driver dapat i-upgrade din. Puro buraot sa kalsada. Delikado na nga magpatakbo, tas sa gitna pa ng kalsada, nagbababa at nagsasakay ng pasahero. Mga hindi marunong sumunod sa batas trapiko. Unang punta ko sa Manila, na war shock ako. Yung jeep, pagdating sa babaan ko, pinababa ako sa gitna ng kalsada at hindi man lang huminto. Kaya lang naman ito yung sinasabi natin. Ends justifying the means? Not quite, diba? Not quite a good enough reason. Kaya lang naman kupal mga driver dito kasi naghahabol lahat yan ng boundary. Malaki dapat turnover nila ng pasahero kaya sobrang bilis nila magpatakbo tapos nagsasakay at nagbababa kung saan-saan. Pag hindi nila ginawa yun, hindi siguradong aabot sila sa boundary nila. Kung alisin yung boundary system at may maayos sila na sahod buwan-buwan, magiging mas chill ang mga jeepney drivers dito. Mawawalan ng point yung pagpapatakbo ng mabilis, pagpupuno ng jeep, pagpapasakay at pagbababa kung saan-saan. I was looking for this kind of comment. Happy that this took first place in the comment section. Yes, as much as we need to upgrade our jeepneys, the more important thing to do is to upgrade the driver's behaviors. Alam ko naman na uneducated sila, but that doesn't mean they can't follow traffic rules. May ganun din na angle, di ba? But basically, let's just read first comments here or top-rated comments kasi paubos na rin tayo ng oras. But we've basically covered most of the issues that are plaguing today and for the entire week bilang bilang may jeepney strike daw this entire week, 'di ba? Basically, we're all game for modernizing the jeepneys. It's the process at which na hindi natin kumbaga sure kung ito nga ba ang tamang daan papunta sa pag-modernize ng jeepneys. Kulang ng subsidy, walang maayos na plano, there's no transition period, wala man lang sinasabi na okay, ang goal natin, kasi ang gusto lang ng government mag-phase out kaagad, di ba? Instantly. Wala man lang silang sinasabi na okay, by subsidizing, ang goal natin, end of 2023, 30% mapalitan na. Kasi, hindi mo rin pwedeng palitan lahat overnight dahil binring up dito kanina, I think, ni Paolo, anong gagawin sa lahat ng jeepneys na hindi na ginagamit bigla. So maybe 30% by the end of the year, by the end of 2 years. Kasi yun din yung time na kakailanganin nila para i-dispose lahat ng jeepneys. Trade in for subsidy, I don't know. It's very problematic. Bakit hindi na lang daw local or national government ang mag-invest sa modern jeepney then mag-hire ng driver at pasahurin? I see what you mean, Jonathan. Sinasabi ni Jonathan na then mag-hire ng driver at pasahurin. I'm trying to understand even more. Yeah, na-bring up yun kanina, Jonathan, na ang laking problema rin na ang dami nating pera in terms of confidential funds, Dolomite Beach, Con-As, and yet we seem to not be able to subsidize all the jeepneys that we want to magically modernize overnight. I think Ron sums it up pretty well. Sabi ni Ron, kulang sa competency mga tao sa gobyerno sa bug organization nila. Well, that is very true as well. Top comments na lang basahin natin. Ang dami natin articles actually. What's your take on postponing? Sabi dito, top, postponing the deadline for Jeepney Modernization isn't going to do shit unless they address the actual problem with the implementation. So, pinostpone kasi, di ba? Imbis na this year, I think they're gonna postpone it to another date. Hindi ko lang maalala kung ano yung date na yun. 6 years na yan. Bakit di pa mag-adjust mga jeepney drivers? How come that no one asked the question? 6 years na yan, bakit hindi pa nakapag-isip ang LTFRB ng mas inclusive na policies para sa Jeepney Modernization Law? May maganda rin sinabi si Kerwin kanina. Sabi niya, yes, may 6 years nga sila para mag-modernize. Pero kung nakaipon naman na sila, di na mag-jeepney driver yan eh. I mean kung makapag-ipon ka na, as a jeepney driver, makapag-ipon ka ng 1.2M, 1.6M, 1.8M. Tingin mo mag-jeepney driver ka pa. parang magpapatayo na lang ako ng tindahan, 'di ba? Mas malaki pa kikitain ko doon, mas ligtas pa. So, very problematic. The system needs to do something in between this period. 6 years was plenty of time for the government to come up with a plan and start implementing it. But given who was in charge the past few years, no surprise there. I think he's referring to the Duterte, tama ba? The Duterte government. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the Duterte government, which I think it has a lot to do with this one. Check this one out. Nakita ko lang to, but I think it's also one explanation as to why our government seems to be very insensitive, unfortunately. And this is the past government in response to transport groups opposing PUV modernization. Check this one out. Legit to, not AI.
Mahirap kayo, putang ina, sige. Magtiis kayo sa hirap at gutom, wala akong pakialam.
Whether that was spliced or not, I think lends itself to the general atmosphere kung nasaan yung government ngayon. Walang plan, out of touch, all over the place, unorganized, and now we're dealing with it. Now that the deadline's here. Last na to because we are getting to overtime already. Take these into consideration when you are talking about the jeepney phase out and modernization. Ang tatay ko ay jeepney driver. Simula noong bata pa ako. Compute tayo para mas madali makita sa case namin. Boundary ng jeep 1K, biyahe per week 3, estimated kita per year 156K. Presyo ng modern jeep 2.4M, years na babayaran 15.5 years. Given na lahat, bakit dapat tutulan ng jeepney phase out? Mabigat at hindi kakayanin ng karaniwang driver. Basically yun talaga eh. Paulit-ulit tayo doon. And here we have a really bad summary of what happened the past few years. Government, we need to improve the lives of our citizens. One way to do that is to give them better public transportation. Tama, sabi ng citizens. So here's the plan, government says. We come up with something half-baked but we don't pay for it. Even if you're paying us to pay for it, using the money we take from you and set aside specifically for things that we should be paying for, like this one in this instance. We don't really want to do much. We want to make it seem like we're hard at work serving our citizens. We made you dumb enough so it should be fine. Tama naman, no? Kaya tayo nagbabayad ng taxes for cases specifically like this one, right? Citizens, especially jeepney drivers, baon na naman kami sa utang. Okay naman kami sa jeepney modernization, pero bakit kami pa rin na magbabayad? And then sasabihin ni BBM, wait, this is all just trolling from here on. But yeah, basically sums everything up. And it's a pain to read because I thought I thought my intricacies to. I thought we could deep digger, find out ano nga ba talaga yung pinaglalaban ng gobyerno. Are we seeing something that really isn't there? Yun sana yung gusto ko gawin in this deep dive into learning more about jeepney modernization, but there really isn't. And there really isn't. In fact, I even saw an article here na today, sabi ni Sara Duterte that communist-inspired itong jeepney strike. Let me see if I could zoom this one in for you. The transport strike is a painful interference in our efforts to provide better solutions to problems besetting our education system. ACT supporting this transport strike and shamelessly harping. Why is she? What is she trying to say? What's happening? She's saying that it is communist-led. Ginagaslight ka na, niredag ka pa. Ayos. There are really many things going on and napakahirap ng situation ngayon ng jeepney drivers and commuters alike. Here you go. I maintain that during this communist-inspired week-long strike, both in-person and alternative delivery modes of learning shall be implemented, whichever is convenient to the learners. There's nothing more to it. I'm wrong. I wanted to learn together and think that there's more to it than just the government messing up. But there's none. It's just ganun lang talaga kasama. So thank you. Very experimental stream today. Learning on the spot. Usually when we do our streams dito sa YouTube, tuloy-tuloy na, diba? And I've already done all the research. But I guess this is a fail kasi yun na nga, wala tayong bagong natutunan. But I hope you still enjoyed. And if you didn't make it to the start of this video, please watch everything, especially kung parehas tayo na hindi marami ang kaalaman tungkol sa jeepney modernization, at sa anong maaaring epekto nito sa lahat ng tao. Anyway, thank you so much for today. Let's read some of the comments that we missed. Ano ba ang alam ni BBM at ng cabinet at advices niya ng issue about jeepney? I think mayroon akong nakitang meme one time. Si BBM yata in interview at tinanong magkano ang pamasahe sa jeep, sabi niya 4 na piso. You know what? We're here anyway. Let's end this stream with memes para hindi all sad. All jeepney memes. So we have a doggo here. Sabi, sakay na po kayo. Modernize Philippine politics. Phase out political dynasties. Kahit memes, pinaghandaan ko. Hindi lang tayo umabot dito. Modernize Philippine politics. No to jeepney phase out. Meron tayong GTA reference over here. What is this? Sabi ni Elon Musk, rich people, the irony. Rich people, money doesn't matter. Attractive people, looks don't matter daw. And sabi naman ng insensitive government natin, jeepney drivers, operators, and students don't matter. That's one meme. Wala, 2 more memes. Laban ng tsyopera, laban ng bayan. So no to jeepney phase out. Yet. No to jeepney phase out. Another one here. Another meme. Art by Arthur the Illustrator. Okay. Wag naman sana yun yung takeaway. But yeah, thank you so much for tonight. I'll be jumping over straight to Kumu for our mukbang. I'll see you again tomorrow. Hopefully, we get to learn more. Either nag-develop yung story ng jeepney or may iba tayong pwedeng pag-usapan bukas. For now, this is where the stream ends. I'll see you in the next stream. I'll see you in Kumu. Okay lang, Master. Magsisimula tayo sa Kumu ngayon. We'll just end this YouTube live stream. I'm jumping over there right now. I'm very hungry. I will eat pautsin for today's Kumu stream. See you in a bit, guys. Oh, thank you, Paula. I'm glad you enjoyed. Even if medyo slow. Hindi tayo fast-paced eh. Very, very slow and opposite yung stream natin today. May content na riding a jeepney. Grabe naman. Sige na nga. The drivers and group supported BBM Sara. Oh man, bad trip. We need private partnerships. Ooh, that is true. To an extent, Ron, I agree. Admittedly, because sobrang disorganized ng government at bagal, kakailanganin ng private partnerships. Yeah, don't forget to like the stream. I'll see you in Kumu. Bye, everybody. Bye, Master. Bye, Paolo. Caleb, Boss K, Ron, Paring Ray, Chantal, even Tin who dropped by here, James, of course. Kita-kita tayo sa Kumu. Bye-bye. Maybe one day mag-vlog tayo ng jeep. One at a time. Today, kakain tayo ng suggestion sa TikTok. Maybe we'll do your suggestion too one day, riding a jeep. Let's see. I don't know. See you at Kumu. Bye-bye.